Difficult, isn't it, when you've decided to do a tell-all memoir, reveal everything about your life to date, and then you decide, well, I'm not quite sure, should I be revealing all? Circumstances change along the way, people pass on, people come back out of the woodwork who simply could contradict your story. I'm sure there are many. This is the problem now facing, of course, the former royal known as Prince Harry, His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex, whichever way you want to describe him. It's seemingly over in America they can't decide in fact how to bill him. I found that particularly strange, They put names traps up as the Duke of Sussex, His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex, Harry, Prince Harry. Very strange, which either way there's no denying that of course he's now one of the most famous figures in the world. If he wasn't before, he is now, but sometimes for all the wrong reasons. As ever though, let me explain. Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company today, and as ever, thank you so much for joining me. We've got rain now. Rain now today over here in London, showers all day, a little bit of sparkly sunshine along the way. You've got to find something, haven't you, though? It's good to get out in the fresh air, but as I say, I don't really like the rain when it comes down so badly like this, because all the leaves fall off, and that means that winter's coming even closer. Oh yes, a little bit like a winter's day looming for, of course, the former royal known as Prince Harry. As you know, and you may have read, and we've told you first and exclusively here on this channel, problems are afoot for his memoir, the man that he's become. Penguin Random House apparently are still pushing ahead with this particular deal. It's interesting though, because they will be very happy to stop publication. Remember, you've heard that here first. More than happy to stop publication. This is because ever since, of course, the sad demise of our wonderful monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, according to a very good source, and as ever we have to say allegedly, that Prince Harry basically had to rethink about some of the things that he was writing about in the memoir. Now, one could only really think about the fact that now, given things aren't going too well, he's probably having second thoughts about exactly what he should be saying and what he should be doing. That, as I say, is all speculative. Nobody truly knows what's in that autobiography so far, or memoir as he prefers to call it. But what's interesting here is that while they wanted to reaffirm it, pull it back and maybe reshape some of the narrative, the structure, Penguin Random House, his publisher, who have paid a colossal amount of money to the former royal, don't want it. They know they've got to sell it on sensationalism. What they're looking at are books like Tom Bower and Valentine Lowe. They know they've sold well simply because, if you think about it, it's the salacious stuff that people want to read about. So Harry wanting to pull back has not gone down too well with executors over here in London and indeed New York at Random House. More interestingly though, I was talking to a very good source within Penguin Random House who told me that yes, they would be open to stopping publication, but that would mean that while Harry wouldn't get all the memoir money, he would simply also incur quite a few costs, not of course the ghostwriting of his particular tomb, plus how far they've got in their production, designing skills, layout, editorial, all of that sort of stuff. So either way, Harry now is trapped by his own doing, if you like, because if he doesn't do it, then he has to bail himself out. And if he does do it, of course, then he has to live with the, shall we say, problems that revealing such a book will bring. Now, as I've said before, I'm sure, and I'm not necessarily saying this just throwing it away, but I'm sure His Majesty the King may help out if he wanted to pulp the book. But that's a very thorny conversation, isn't it, considering what's gone on before. And perhaps His Majesty the King now feels, well, you know what? Nothing can be as bad as what's come out so far. Let it ride, and maybe, Harry then pockets the money, and maybe they could even reconcile and move forward. Either way, once again, it's proven that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are indeed no great business brains. But it's still slated to come out next month. Sean in the very heart of London.